Hello. Well, now, you may notice that this is not usually my high-tech, high-quality HD video that I usually make because this is a different machine. My other machine said that for some reason it acts like I'm logged into YouTube, but I can't do anything on YouTube with it. So this piece of crap, which the keyboard is broken on, I can get on here, and I got a Google Chromebook I can get on, but the Google Chromebook I don't really know how to use as far as downloading videos onto uploading videos onto YouTube. So anyways, as I picked like the worst time of the day to make a video with all that light just pounding in here, making me look like it just ruins my natural tan. You know, just all that light pounding in there making me look all ghostly white and stuff. It's just horrible. But yeah, I've been noticing I got like tremors in my left hand just from, I think it's from the amount of work that I've been doing. But I've been doing nothing but housework for 2 weeks straight. And even yesterday when I took a minor break, I still did some things around here. Just nothing major. But today the exterminator's coming to spray at 3:30, so I really have to do some work today and bag everything up and sweep the floor. I got most things done. I can't really spin this computer around to show you the difference the same way I could spin the other computer around because it's got this problem. It's got like a floppy headboard kind of thing. I guess I could try. Anyways, I threw out the chair myself. I just got like some random stuff to do. I don't even know if I can get the angle right on it. So you can even see what's going on. I don't have my glasses on to even help me know whether that was a worthwhile exercise or not. But anyways, I tried to push the chair out the window because I just wanted to see what would happen to it if it dropped 14 feet. But I just couldn't quite do it, you know. I thought I hurt myself worse doing that than I did, but I didn't strain any muscles. But I thought I really barked up my shins, and what I needed to do was like recline the chair and then angle it out like a snake. I think I might have been able to get it out that way. I might not have, but there's just not enough room in here. But I haven't sat in that chair in a very long time, so there's very little chances of it being infested with bugs anyway. Oh, did I mention I have bed bugs? Of course you know that. You've been following this thing. So I just drug it out of here, which I got upper body strength. I don't have any balance or anything with my legs, so I can't carry anything. It's like I have to be careful like carrying 8 pounds, but I can drag a recliner out of here with no problem. Which makes as much sense as anything, but I got it into the hallway and then it just broke in half in the hallway, and I just broke it off like in pieces, and it's on the porch right now. But yeah, this has been exhausting. Hopefully the guy won't be an hour and a half late. I tried to stay up as late as possible last night, and I did not really get a good night's sleep, but you know, it takes so long for the poison to dry, and I'm pretty sure sleeping in poison is probably not a good plan. You know, if I had other circumstances, perhaps motel room tonight, you know, if I wanted to blow the money on cab fare in a motel room. No hooker. I don't know why hooker and motel room just go so naturally together. But, you know, I don't want to stay at nobody else's houses because they would just aggravate me after the week I've had. And, anyways, yeah, so I'm just kind of like taking a rest now. I got up 5 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning, and I don't know. I'm just taking all these preventative measures, and I'm thinking all I have to do is miss like a couple of eggs, you know, and it'll just start up all over again. Like I said, I called my cousin in Florida, and he was like, "Oh, you're fucked." That's the first thing he said is, "You're fucked." He's like, "We used a professional company, and we spent I think it was either 3,000, but I think he said it was. I think his math was horrible because I think he said it was 1,800 the first visit by one of these major companies like Orkin or Terminix or somebody like that. But 1,800 the first visit and 2,300 the second visit, and then the third visit, they were. I think they moved. I think they were just like they just gave up. Let's go use this money to make a down payment on a house. That's why I don't understand my brother's attitude about like, whatever. So I'm going to a house with bed bugs and washing my clothes there. It's like, and then he doesn't listen to me. I'm giving him dire warnings, and he's like, I'll just deal with it when it happens, People are all like blasé about it until it's like, don't you like know anything? Don't you like, there's whole parts of New York City there's like more bed bugs than there are people. I mean, don't you know anything about how like they're the most pernicious, hard to get rid of household pest imaginable? They're literally, I think they probably are the most hard to get rid of and potentially the most expensive to get rid of. A lot of people, they just move, And my landlord, when we were having our last conversation, he was like, a lot of people just move. I think he was encouraging me not to move, but he was like, a lot of people just move. But he said, literally, the only way that you can be sure that you don't bring any bed bugs with you is if you would walk out of your place buck naked and hop in a car that you know is safe and leave everything behind. I'm going to do pretty much close to that at some point here. I texted him. He hasn't texted me back yet, asking him if he's going to check out Michelle's place upstairs. The other unfortunate recent development in the building is the Afghani war vet guy is in jail. Nobody seems to know the charge, though. I suppose there's some way that I could find out the charge myself, but the people in he's closest to can't tell me anything, right? So I get like this thing that's one of them certified mail, like you gotta sign here so we can leave this mail here for you thing. And I'm like, okay. And the person's name is very similar to my name that lives here. So I'm signing for somebody else's certified mail, and it's a court summons for a large amount of money, So I'm like, I make some calls, and they drop by like real fast to pick it up and stuff. And they were like, well, I'm going to run up there and see what's up there. And they run up there, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't hear no keys jangling or anything like that. So skipping ahead, yesterday was my last therapy appointment with that 26-year-old therapist that's working on her third child at the age of 26, and her husband wants her to have 5 for some reason, and she said, I don't want to have 5. And I said, maybe you should compromise and just put your vagina down. Put your foot down and say, this is it, huh? 3. Because she was I only had her as a therapist for like a year and a half, and she was enormous, and it was all baby weight, and then she was losing the baby weight, and I'm like, wow, she's kind of attractive. And then she got pregnant. Like, as soon as she got attractive, the husband jumped all over it again and got her pregnant again. So anyways, yesterday was the last time I'd see her. We had a funny farewell, which I said, so this is the last time I'm going to be seeing you. And she's like, yeah. And I said, well, yeah, she's walking out to the car. Well, have a nice life. And she's like, you too. And I said, too late. I thought about that later, and I was like, that was fucking cold, man. That was cold. But it just popped out of me. She's telling me to have a night, I say have a nice life. That just shows that, she's already mentally checked out. She stopped, though, when I said that, she stopped before she opened the car door and looked at me, and I was like, some crazy weather we're having, because the wind was blowing up when when I said that. And it had actually poured, and I insisted we meet out on the front porch, of course, because I wasn't going to infest no 7, 8 months pregnant woman with bed bugs and not tell her about the bed bugs. Though, anyways, but yeah, that was like, she was already mentally checked out. She was like, I was like, well, if this is the last time we're going to see each other, you have a nice life. And she's like, you too. And I'm like, too late. I'm going to have a nice life. Yeah. Incurable disease. Intractable pain. Yeah, you know my life. The best I can do is to have a triumphant life, which means to overcome all this nonsense and still keep my sanity and remain a decent person before they cremate me and try to melt that metal rod in my back. That's about the best I can hope for. Some of you may believe in afterlife of some kind. I kind of do, but I think that, once I move on, I won't remember none of this. But that's like, they call that, I think the atheists call that wish fulfillment thinking. That's what I want. I don't want to remember any of this. My life. Why would I want to remember any of this? I was like, I would like to forget all of this. If I was the less strong person, I would just be doped up all the time doing that shit right now, like people do. All these people that want to live forever and shit. It's like one of the number one industries, underground and above ground, or underground and above ground, underground and above board. Black market and white market is selling forgettingness, selling alcohol, all kind of substances get sold. And it's all for people to wipe out their consciousness, and it's used, I should say it's used to open up that well of forgettingness. People don't drink to remember how shitty their lives are, generally speaking. The real drinkers and people that use substances on a regular basis, they don't do it to remember how wonderful their life is. So all that stuff about people wanting an afterlife where they can remember like everything, it's like I can think of nothing that would, there'd be no escape from, I don't know, man. I don't want to get too deep, too philosophical and say too many offensive things here to people. But the best you can do, I think, is to make peace with it. But at the same time, I have to remember like horror upon horror that I don't even talk about on here. And it's like, why in the heck, the best I can do is make peace with it. And it's like, understand the two things I always talk about concerning shame and feeling bad about yourself. And keep those to a minimum. I tried to help the Chris guy out before he got thrown in jail and gave him an ear and gave him some electricity so he could charge up his phone, and spent time with him, which I'm sure I will be punished for. I will be punished thoroughly for, if he, depending upon how long he's in jail, but I don't know how long he's going to be in jail. But I know the apartment. Any y'all squatters? I can tell you a nice place. Nice big roomy place that was just used as a squatter's den. It's broken in. It knows what it's all about. It was just used as a squatter's den like, what was that? Last summer in August. So it's just open right now. Anybody can go in there and establish a residence and be like, this is my house. And the Afghani guy, Afghani war vet guy, he wasn't even on the lease. The person whose mail I got was on the lease. So it's all very confusing, and I try not to get, I got enough of my own problems. I try not to get too involved in other people's problems, but I still try to help him. But he was drunk and he got up from his chair, and I saw a key there, and I said, that looks like a key to the front door there. He goes, no, that's to my house. And then, like, why is your door open? Because I limped upstairs with the cane and I checked it out and I opened up and I looked in there myself. And then I shut the door. I didn't, like, lock it and then shut it. I just left it the way it was. In case he's in there for a week or 2 weeks or something like that and can come back here. But, yeah. Hmm. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Still got a lot of work to do and a lot of pain to endure. And then when they spray the poison in here, I want them to spray the carpet in here too. But it's like these things, like in my hands, doing that spasming thing. I think it's just from fatigue. Like I'm getting like muscle spasms and shit in my hand. Because laugh and the world laughs with you. Have bed bugs and you're a motherfucking alone because nobody wants to help you come clean up after your bed bugs. If they have any sense. Not even people who are going to a house that have bed bugs to wash their clothes. So it's all on me. All the lifting and all the carrying and all the trash disposal and all on a leg that's just a fucking nightmare. I've tried to show you what that looks like. I don't know if I can. I can't tell what the fucking thing's pointing at. So you can see the difference in size between the two knees. Oh, let's see if I can do this. So I can't. I can't quite get my knees on camera. Get some decent light. Get them both on camera. I don't know, you can't really tell from that angle. Anyways. But, whoa, down goes the light. And a bunch of bugs fell out of the light. Like old millers and moths on top of me to boot. But this is the one that's got the blood clot and the Baker's cyst and all the problems. Sorry about having this. And I got this weird, while we're looking at my physical horrible personage, this weird, like, rash or whatever the fuck it is on my stomach. I don't even know what it's from. It's not bed bug bites. I'm sorry you had to see that much of me, but damn, I got dead bugs all over me. It seems appropriate somehow. Shit. Oh man. But anyways, yeah, so I got like my whole upper body's real sore too, from all the lifting and toting and carrying. I had already aggravated my rotator cuff and my right arm before any of this started with a fall that happened shortly after my brother came in here and infested the place with bed bugs. And I wanted to make a video for you, but I can at least refer you to the video. And I might see if I can put the time signature in the video for you where I'm like, nope, don't say that. Because I said, like, I was about to say, I don't see how this could get any worse. And this is before I realized that I had bed bugs. I was like, no, don't say that. Things can always get worse. Don't you know this by now, you moron? But it was too late. I let the words escape yon lips into yon atmosphere, reaching the universe's ears. And the universe says, this motherfucker is a slow learner. He ain't learned yet. You know, all right, let's see what we can give him. But the truth of the matter is that video was made like on 5/20. And my brother had come in to clean like around the end of April and sometime before 5/20 on two separate occasions in probably a bed bug ridden car. So at the point that I was saying it, I was already fucked. I just didn't know it. And then a week later was Memorial Day weekend, and that was the day, you know, of my Elviron Mistress of the Dark Silly video, where I was saying that for Memorial Day weekend, I had like a all-night power outage, and then I didn't have the internet or a phone for 24 hours. Or no, for 48 hours. And then during those 48 hours is when I realized I had bed bugs on, I would guess, I would look it up on the calendar, but I would guess like, well, it was before June 1st. Because I got sprayed on the 30th. It was on the 28th that I realized that I had, yeah, it was May 28th that I realized I had bed bugs for sure. Because I had seen them and didn't know what they were because they were from a distance. I just thought they were just bugs. But, you know, I only seen a couple of them. And I would just smash them. And I was like, man, these things pop like zits. Full of blood. Like, I didn't know what I was dealing with because I never lived with bed bugs. But then that one night I was sitting and they were like right here and they were like that far away from my face and I got a good look at them and I knew what they looked like from the internet and then I was like, bed bugs, I'm fucked. So, yeah, but never say that, never. I don't see how things could get worse. You know, just watch a horror movie or two. Sorry about the shitty camera. And, yeah. Oh boy, I got a lot to do. I'm not sure what. I think I'm just gonna like take a bunch of pills, like a gabapentin for the pain, and maybe a Valium or two, and like just sit out on the porch while the poison dries in here, and put the air conditioner on. Though it's pretty cool here nowadays, but that dehumidifies the air, and put a fan. The only fan I got, like a window fan, like pointing toward the bed, to dry the bed out as quick as possible. Just sit outside bombed while this place is reeking with poison rather than sit in poison like I did before. Yeah, I got this like giant blue bedspread thing here that's like the kind of thing that you would have to take to a laundromat, to like an overwashed or oversized washing machine to get done. And I'm going to fold it up before the day is over and seal it up in a garbage bag. Just pretty much sealing everything up like in garbage bags, you know, airtight. And then just I'm not fucking with it. You know, just leave it alone for a year. And sealing up like most of my clothes. And just keeping a minimum of clothes and like one pair of shoes. Just, I mean, I'm doing everything I can. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, am I doing this for Gerald's benefit? Because I really don't want to have him again, but I'll still have him over the same barrel if I let him go. They'll just infest the whole building, and then, you know, it will cost him even more money to get rid of him. Or, you know, the health department will be called in and, like, force his hand, you know. But I don't want to have to deal with it no more while I'm living here. And, I don't have to deal with him, which he had to read that text by now, but he's not answering me about whether he's going to check out that place upstairs. I'm keeping him in the dark about the apartment being open and kind of hoping that squatters get in there and take it over and give him no money. Just kind of hoping that happens. I don't really care. Those other squatters, they were bad squatters. Maybe I'll get some good squatters, because a lot of the tenants are worse than squatters, so maybe I'll get some good squatters in there. I also found out, like, the other squatters were definitely bad squatters because they were involved in the meth trade. But, yeah, I shouldn't talk too loud just in case Michelle can hear me, because this was kind of funny. As I was sitting on the porch, and she pops out, and I never talk to her. I don't want nothing to do with her because she's stampy, and I'm just prejudiced against brontosauruses and dinosaurs of all kinds. You know. Anyways, so she comes out there. I'm talking to her, and half-assedly, but really I'm talking to my to the Afghani war vet guy out there. And she was like, boy, I was sure glad the landlord kicked all those people out of there. You know, and she never knew that, I don't know, maybe she was being sly and she knew that one of us, but I don't think she knew anything, frankly. I think the landlord just said, you know, you're running up my water bill. I don't think he would have kicked them out on my say-so. He wouldn't kick out crack dealers out of this place on my say-so. So why would he kick out just some random house guests that won't leave? But she said, boy, I was glad when the landlord told them they had to go. And I was like, that way you didn't have to play the bad guy, huh? And she's like, yeah. And then she said one of them was homeless. And I was like, homeless. Homeless equals couch hopper. Couch hopping, homeless person, bed bugs. Those two things might go together. Oh, somebody just answered me on here. Maybe it's Gerald. No. It's my neighbor. I made the mistake of getting chummy with Roy. She's just another annoyance to me. Which is kind of funny, when he moved in here, he made it very clear that he wanted no human contact, but now we're buddies. So he's probably going to be crushed when I leave, because everybody needs friends. Dude ain't got no friends. Oops. No, I wrote my landlord accidentally. Oh, wait a minute, I can fix this. Sorry. It's very boring. Watch me try to struggle with, watch an old man try to struggle with modern technology. No, this guy's asking me if I found anything out about the guy being in jail. And I put no, but I texted it to the landlord instead of my neighbor, who, that was dumb, but I just mentioned he was coming home, which was a very unusual thing. So he was coming home while I was out there with my therapist. And, I just blurted it out. I was like, you don't have nobody living above you right now. He was just like acting shy, or just wanted to get in his house or whatever. Who the fuck knows? But he was like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, Chris is in jail. So I was like, I should have said that. And he said, you want me to tell Gerald about it? And I'm like, no, please don't tell Gerald about it. Because he could only be in there for drunk and disorderly. Or he could be in there for a long time. But really, I kind of just want to punish Gerald, Just leave that place empty and get in his pocketbook a little bit more. Which, that's going to matter. The dude's got 30 properties minimum, according to this guy who knows how to use a computer a lot better than I do, but is older than me. And he also knows math better than I do. And he figured out that gross rent collected here, $163,000 since the landlord bought this. And that's just one property. And that's in 8 years. So being a landlord and a slumlord, perhaps especially, is very good. It's a very good business to get into. I'm sorry. See if I don't. Yeah, I don't. I shouldn't have been. I would prefer to be alone. I don't like extra nonsense. I have enough problems. Like, why do you care? He's asking me if he's in the city or another jail. And I'm like, I'm just telling him, like, why do you, I have no idea, but he's just hungry for conversation. Which I'd go over there and talk to him in person. But, it's just... Okay, the landlord says, I said, are you going to have the exterminator check out Michelle's? No? Yes? And he said, already been taken care of. We can talk today when we meet at 3:30. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to that. I might be able to get him to deliver. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't have any TV anymore, and I have to return like this gigantic, heavy cable box type thing from Dish Network, and UPS store is like right down the road, and they said I can just drop it off at the UPS store, but they sent me a FedEx label, and I'm like, that doesn't even add up. But I might ask him to do that for me. I might see if I can get my landlord to run that down there for me. And but he won't tell me nothing over the phone. He's like, we can talk about it in person. Ooh, ominous. Is he gonna try to get $185 out of me? He's like, now we know it's your problem. You know, fuck him. And $185 ain't that much money to me. It's just like, I just hate this guy so much, you know. I just beg every time I see him. I just beg the universe not to let anything stupid come out of his stupid head and escape his stupid vocal cords and tongue and mouth and lips and come anywhere toward me and in my direction. Okay, I tried to be a little bit too fancy there. It didn't work too well. But yeah, I just want this over with. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. It's like I don't mind hard work. I never did mind hard work. You know. Uh, I mean, a lot of you all that are thinking people might be thinking like he's always talking about how he was in such good shape in his like 30s and 20s and like was able to bike ride 20, 30 miles, like took a 17-year-old nephew on a bike ride that nearly killed him just as punishment for being a smart ass kid. And you know, could walk and walk and walk and just like would walk a mile just to get loosened up. It's like, why wasn't this guy working? Well, there's a whole lot to CRPS that it's way more involved. It's like I still couldn't wear a shirt. I still had other symptoms that were confusing and hard to deal with. And you can't work CRPS into a schedule. In other words, like, yeah, I could bike ride for 20, 30 miles on Tuesday. That don't mean I can do it on Wednesday. And, you know, unless the type of jobs I could get, it would be like yeah, I can work like a bastard on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, boss, can't make it. Sorry, that's not how jobs work. In my general ignorant understanding of being a working man, it's like you can't just pick and choose days that you feel good and can do stuff to days where you don't feel so good. But anyways, yeah. It's about 9:30 in the morning here in the Heartland, Northern Ohio. And, yeah. I think I got you all updated about the various nonsense in this horrible video. Please stop bothering me. Just let the blood pressure pill I took and the Valium kick in, because I was feeling flushed and my heart was kicking pretty good before I laid down and broke out this old computer. I guess I gotta go. I got a bunch of people that want to talk at me. Friends. Annoying creatures that they are. Though the landlord isn't a friend. The guy next door, I guess he's a friend. And I maybe got some other people on there that are, you know, talking to me. I can't, trying to find the cursor to turn this thing off, and I can't do it without my glasses. Anyways, I'll rewatch this and put it up no matter what, or no matter how embarrassing or stupid it is, because that is my nature. I do not care if you think I am a goddamn fool, because I've known it for years. I wouldn't be in this situation if I wasn't one. So, anyways, wish me luck on my day of hard work. And as far as like writing back, I can write back on the answer replies and write and stuff on the Chromebook. So, you know, anybody that writes to me or wants a reply from me or whatever, I can do that. I got one person I got to reply to. I can do that on the Chromebook. And I'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.